for.
OK, potential incomings at Chelsea. What about outgoings at Manchester United, Dharmesh?
Yeah, Carlo mentioned Alejandro Garnacho. The other ones, the high-profile ones, Rasmus Højlund. Ruben Amorim says that Højlund is part of the squad looking for this weekend against Arsenal. He is open to a move to AC Milan, is Rasmus Højlund, but he's not fully convinced yet. Talks have taken place between Milan and Højlund's representatives, and they are waiting now for the green light from Højlund to really push with Manchester United to try and get that deal over the line. As for Jadon Sancho, we know that Roma have made a £20 million bid to Manchester United to sign him. Roma are now speaking to Jadon Sancho's representatives to tell them about the project and also the terms of a contract. Again, if they are given encouragement that Sancho would be open to the move, then Roma would then push with Manchester United to try and generate a deal between the two clubs before, hopefully for them, if they want him, signing Jadon Sancho.
All right, let's talk Carlos Baleba now. And Brighton boss Fabian Hertzler is confident the midfielder will still be at the club at the end of this summer transfer window. We know that Manchester United are interested in the 21-year-old, but it would be a costly deal to do.
Very, very, very confident.
Yeah?
Yes.
Any particular reason why?
Just my belief. I didn't see any change. He only changed his hairs, so I think that was the only change he made the last 2 weeks. But overall, he seems to be in a really good place. He's enjoying it with his teammates. He's enjoying it being a Brighton player. He's very grateful to have the process he had in the last season. So I didn't see any big change, and he's an option to start for tomorrow. Yes.
His first words there were very, very confident. Why do you think Fabian Hertzler feels so confident?
They hold all the cards, Brighton. Carlos Baleba has got 3 years left on his contract. Brighton have got the option to extend that for a further year. They don't want to sell. They've got no intention of selling. And because of his contract situation, they are under no pressure to sell as well. And I think also the price would be pretty prohibitive to Manchester United, and that would make it an almost impossible deal to do as it stands, because I'm sure we'll talk about it later about the number of players that Manchester United want to get money for because they want to offload. But I think Brighton will look at Carlos Baleba and they'll compare him to Moises Caicedo. And you know, the noises coming out of Brighton are saying that he's actually further in his development at his stage of his career than Moises Caicedo was at that stage of his career. And what did Moises Caicedo go for? £115 million to Chelsea. So why can't Brighton say, well, if Moises Caicedo went for that, that's going to be our starting point with Carlos Baleba. Blindly, there must be some sort of encouragement somewhere along the line that maybe the player might think, you know what, I might be open to that move. But that is completely separate here to what Brighton's position would be, because even if Carlos Baleba just say he did want to go to Manchester United, Brighton can just say, well, you're not going anywhere. You've got 3 years left on your contract. We've got a year's option. And if we are to let you go, then it's going to be over £100 million. And people will say, well, you can compare that to the Alexander Isak situation. And so why are people saying, well, it's still potentially going to happen to Liverpool? Because we haven't really heard of any disunity or disharmony with regard to Carlos Baleba at Brighton.
No, those are very distinct in that respect. Yeah,
that's the big difference.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because when you look at the amount of money spent, you know, Liverpool have spent almost £300 million. That's without Isak, if it does happen. Chelsea have spent around £250 million. Manchester United up until this point, £214 million. But, you know, they want to be competing, especially given the fact that Liverpool and United are currently on 20 top-flight titles each, and they sense that Liverpool might get back on the perch if this spending continues that they can't keep up with. But on the point of sort of, it's not a one-window fix, Dharmesh, I mean, Carver, I wonder about this. Harry Maguire said in a recent interview that United were mentally weak in the past. And how much do you think that these new signings and things like, for example, the refreshed training ground might add to a sense of rebirth, renewal at Manchester United to try and change things culturally as well? That sort of wider context piece, I guess.
I think, look, what Manchester United have to do is back Ruben Amorim, which is exactly what they're doing, and give him as much time as possible, because there's been too much chopping and changing of managers, too many managers buying different players which haven't worked out. Now, sitting here, it's been a good summer for Manchester United, but we don't know how these signings are going to work out. Not every signing works out the way you think it's going to work out. For instance, when United signed Jadon Sancho, you know, a lot of people were very excited about the impact he was going to have, or Anthony, or Højlund. You know, in the transfer market, you're going to have hits and misses. Now, on paper, it looks like the 3 forwards they've signed are all going to be hits. And if you're a United fan, you'll be thinking, Ruben Amorim's got it right this time, Jason Wilcock's got it right, Jim Ratcliffe's got it right. We need to get behind the team. But remember, United are not going to be challenging for the title this season. The aim is just to get back into Europe. It's going to take a few steps, and it's going to take quite a few transfer windows as well. I think if you're a United fan, you just want a big improvement on last season, and you want to see United playing, attacking and defending in the way that United fans are used to seeing their teams play and perform.
Manchester United target Sen Laman's faces, Inter Milan twist amid Onana injury drama. Manchester United's transfer window just took a shocking turn, and it all centres around a young Belgian shot-stopper who is turning heads across Europe. According to Sky Sports journalist Mike McGrath, Inter Milan are moving fast to snatch Manchester United target Sen Lammens from Royal Antwerp. At just 23 years old, Lammens has already proven himself as one of the most promising goalkeepers in Europe. He became Antwerp's #1 last season, racking up 44 appearances and 10 clean sheets, and this season he's already unbeaten in 3 league games. But here's the twist. While Inter Milan are holding talks with Antwerp, Manchester United are only waiting in the shadows. Why? Because Fabrizio Romano has revealed United will only make a move for Lammens if one of their current keepers leaves this summer. United's interest in a new goalkeeper exploded after Andre Onana's nightmare hamstring injury. The Cameroon star missed the entire pre-season, forcing backup Altay Bayındır to take charge. And with United linked to world-class names like Emiliano Martinez and Gianluigi Donnarumma, fans were already dreaming of a blockbuster signing. But now, it's Lammens who has stolen the headlines. At just 23, he represents the future, and Inter Milan knows it. Reports suggest they are desperate to get the deal done before United swoop in. Onana, however, has finally delivered some hope. Earlier this month, he announced he's targeting a return for the Premier League opener against Arsenal at Old Trafford. If he's fit, he starts. If not, the layman's transfer storm could erupt into full-blown chaos. One thing's for sure, Manchester United's goalkeeper saga isn't over yet, and the next twist could shock everyone.